Welcome back to Bears News Fan Report, where we break down every twist and turn that could shape the future of Chicago football. And tonight, we're diving into a story that has Bears fans buzzing, insiders speculating, and the NFC North keeping one eye nervously fixed on Hollis Hall. The talk of the league right now isn't just Caleb Williams or Ben Johnson's schemes. It's Trey Hendrickson, the reigning NFL sack champion, and the question that hangs heavy over Chicago: could the Bears make the kind of move that flips the entire script of this defense? Or is this just another what-if destined to torture us through another cold winter? Odds makers don't like our chances. DraftKings dropped the numbers, and they've got the Bears buried way down the list at plus 2,500 odds to land Hendrickson. That's behind 14 other franchises, including Detroit at plus 800. The Colts and Packers at plus 1,000, and even teams like the Chargers and Cardinals at plus 1,400. Vegas says the Bengals will keep him, sitting pretty at minus 450. But when has Vegas ever understood the hunger of a city like Chicago? When has an algorithm ever measured the desperation of a fan base that's been begging for an elite edge rusher since the glory days of the monsters of the Midway? Let's be real, Montez Sweat was supposed to be the answer, and for a hot second, he was. The guy came in, made the Pro Bowl in 2023, racked up 12.5 sacks, and gave us that flash of dominance that made you believe Ryan Poles had finally fixed the edge. But 2024 hit different. His production dropped in half 5.5 sacks, pressures cut, nearly in half two, and suddenly that Pro Bowl shine looked a little dimmer. Was it scheme? Was it support? Or is Sweat just not wired to be that every down, take over a game force that changes everything? Bears Nation is asking that question tonight, and if we're asking it, you know the front office is too. Because the truth is, Sweat can't do it alone. And Grady Jarrett, though a warrior in his day, isn't the guy he used to be. Deo Odeyingbo, solid piece, versatile, but not the terror you unleash on a 3rd and long when you need a strip. Sack to seal the game, and that's why Hendrickson's name hits so hard. This isn't just another decent pass rusher. This is the man who led the NFL in sacks last season with 17.5, matching his production from the year before. Back-to-back seasons at the top. 4-time Pro Bowler. All-Pro in 2024, the kind of resume Chicago hasn't seen since the days when Julius Peppers wore navy and orange, since Richard Dent terrorized quarterbacks in '85. You put a player like that next to Sweat, suddenly everything changes. The front seven goes from patchwork to power. The coverage unit stops looking over its shoulder every down. And Caleb Williams? He gets to play with leads, not from behind, because the defense is handing him extra possessions every Sunday. Imagine Soldier Field, December night, playoff stakes on the line. Hendrickson screaming off the edge while the crowd roars like the walls of the old Coliseum. That's not just a dream. That's the kind of vision that keeps G-Miz awake at night, wondering if they have the guts to pull the trigger. But here's the catch. It's not just about having the guts. It's about having the wallet. Hendrickson's making $21 million in 2025, but he wants more. He's staring down that T.J. Watt contract, the Myles Garrett deal, looking for $35 to $40 million per year. 3 years, maybe 4, with heavy guarantees. You're talking over $100 million for a guy who's turning 31 this season. Does that number make your stomach flip? Because it should. The short end of that deal is already a massive commitment, and the decline could hit any year. This is the gamble that defines franchises sell out now for proven dominance, or play the long game and hope your draft picks hit. Bears fans know this pain. We've lived it. The almost moves, the missed windows, the what-ifs that still sting decades later. Could Hendrickson be the piece that makes us more than just up and coming? Or would he be another contract albatross that haunts the books while the rest of the roster crumbles? Let's look at history. In 2006, it wasn't the offense that carried us. It was a defense stacked with playmakers. Edge pressure coming from every angle. A unit that imposed its will until the final whistle of the NFC Championship. In 2018, we saw the same thing. A defense so fearsome it dragged us to the brink of glory. And yet, all it took was one double doink to crush the dream. The lesson is cruel but clear. Defenses win you the right to dream, but stars close the deal. Hendrickson is that closer. He's the kind of nightmare for opposing quarterbacks that tilts playoff games in your favor. So the question becomes, do the Bears believe their window is open now, or are we still pretending to be patient? Insiders say there might be better long-term targets. Names like Micah Parsons pop up polls putting together a monster package to pry him from Dallas down the line, drafting a blue-chip edge in 2026 when the class looks deeper. Those are the smart moves, the calculated plays. But Bears fans don't want smart. We want results. We want a defense that makes Lambeau Field go silent. We want to see Jared Goff running for his life with the division on the line. We want to finally stare down Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and say, our rush is better than your line. Good luck. Hendrickson gives us that swagger. He gives us that hope. Still, the odds say no. Plus 2,500, behind half the league. Carolina has the need. Indy has the capital. Green Bay could make a nightmare move just to twist the knife in Chicago. Can you imagine the Packers pulling the trigger while the Bears sit idle? That's the stuff of scars. That's the kind of decision that echoes for decades. And yet, Chicago has money. We have draft capital. We have a front office that has shown it isn't afraid to swing the Montez Sweat trade proved that. So the pieces are there. The question is, do the Bears have the nerve to do it again, bigger this time? So Bears Nation, I'll throw it to you. Do we chase Trey Hendrickson, knowing the price, knowing the risk, knowing it could reshape our defense overnight? Or do we hold back, stick to the plan, and risk watching someone else get the last laugh? Personally, I say this. After all, the heartbreak, after all the years of waiting, I'd rather go down swinging than sit safe and watch history pass us by. But that's me. What about you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be reading everyone because this is the kind of moment that defines us as fans. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, and turn on the notification bell so you're locked in for every single Bears twist still to come this season. You know what hits me the hardest, Bears Nation? It's that every time we stand on the edge of something that feels like destiny, there's that little voice in the back of our minds whispering about all the scars we carry. The heartbreak of '06 when we thought defense could carry us to eternal glory. The nightmare of the 2010 NFC Championship with Cutler limping on the sideline. The double doink in 2018 that still haunts us every time the ball spins off an upright. And yet, here we are again, staring at another chance, another moment where this franchise could step into the light. For me personally, I don't just want the Bears to be respectable. I'm done with respectable. I'm done with being the team everyone laughs off as the little brother of the division. I want fire. I want risk. I want a front office and a coaching staff that says, we're not scared to take the swing that could win us everything. Because yeah, Hendrickson might cost a fortune. Yeah, it might flame out in 3 years. But tell me, Bears fans, would you rather watch another decade of half measures or live through a shot at greatness, even if it means rolling the dice on someone at his peak? Personally, I'd rather risk heartbreak for a chance at glory than settle for mediocrity and call it stability. And that's where I stand, heart on sleeve, just like every one of you who's ever sat through the freezing winds at Soldier Field praying for one more miracle. So I'll leave it on you. Do we settle for safe, or do we chase the kind of history that makes all the pain worth it? Drop your thoughts below, because I can't wait to dive into this with every single one of you. And if you're riding this roller coaster with me, hit that like button, subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, and ring that bell, because the story of the Chicago Bears is far from finished, and the next chapter might be the one that finally changes everything.